Fernandez began his educational career at Navarro College as a dual credit student in 2013 while at the Waxahachie High School. As a junior in high school, he enlisted in the United States Army Reserves, and immediately after graduation, Giovanni entered basic training and eventually advanced training to the United States Army. After graduation, Giovanni resumed his classes at Navarro College, joined the Phi Theta Kappa National Honor Society, and eventually became president of the local chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. He was also elected parliamentarian of the Veterans Club, a member of the K-Pasa Club, and worked as a tutor at Navarro College. As an exemplary student at Navarro College, Giovanni made the Dean's List, received the Most Outstanding Student Award, and won first place in several poetry contests. After graduating summa cum laude with an associate's degree, Giovanni plans to transfer to North Dakota, where he will study aviation as he attends flight school and joins the Army ROTC program. His plans are to become a pilot and soar the skies. Please join me in welcoming your classmate and fellow graduate, Mr. Giovanni Fernandez.
Good afternoon. There is a superhero in all of us. We just need the courage to put on the cape. Quoted from Superman. Another quote, we stop looking for monsters under our bed when we realize that they're inside of us. Quoted from the Joker. So who do we believe? Because according to both, there is essentially a villain and a superhero living inside of us. Right now, there's an ongoing battle between your superhero and your villain. You see, our superhero followed Batman's #1 rule. We can't kill our villains, we can only capture them, control them. We will forever have a villain and a superhero. Never will we only have one. The one who you feed up the most, armor up the most, strengthen up the most, the one with the most upgraded utility belt gets to influence your level of success in your life. If your inner villain is stronger, your success would be nothing compared to the success that your superhero can offer. I'm going to tell you the 3 things that you need to feed your inner superhero so that he or she will be able to win battles upon battles, defeat legions upon legions, armies upon armies, in full waging wars throughout your life. Number 1, the power of fearlessness. Be fearless in everything that you do. If you fear failure, you also fear success. Failure should be embraced, not avoided. Most veteran superheroes charge into battle with little or complete absence of fear because they know that this is the only way. Disrespect your fears and be a fearless warrior. Number 2, the power of limitlessness. This goes back to fear, but don't be afraid to explore your limits. This may be the most important aspect out of the 3. Pursue your goals free from any presumed limitations, because with natural talent and hard work, you will be able to amaze yourself. Number 3, the power of audacity. One of my favorite comic book scenes is with the Flash. And as everybody knows, the Flash is very, very, very fast. But one time, he was literally being chased by death. You know, the Flash was running so fast that he was running into the future. 50 million years goes by in a blip of a second, and the Flash is ahead by a kilometer. 800 million years into the future, and death is getting so much closer, half the previous distance. 2 billion years into the future, and death is only 3 feet away. 20 billion years into the future, and death is only a hand away from catching the Flash. And then out of a sudden, the Flash literally reaches the end of time. In the comic, death was not existent, even at this conceptual level. Everything was a white abyss, and death just disintegrated because it couldn't exist in the end of time. Be as bold enough to the point that you decide your own fate, not anybody or anything else. What if the Flash decided to accept his fate that day? He wouldn't have just died. He would have been a failed superhero. Not only that, worse than that, a forgotten superhero. Have the audacity to mold your own successful future. And I want to share a story that happened to me many years ago when I ran track and field in high school, and how I discovered my fearlessness, my limitlessness, my audacity, and my inner superhero. The only sport I really excelled at was running. In high school, I would race in different meets, but there was one race that changed me into the successful runner that I was. You see, I got to encounter this athlete nicknamed the Cuban Bullet. That day, my race was dead last, so I noticed that the Cuban Bullet would race and excel in almost every other event. It was obvious to everyone that this was the epitome of an athlete, a lion in a field of gazelles. He was so fast that when he passed through the finish line, people would just stare in awe. Hoping that he wouldn't be in my race, I got ready for my 800-meter run. Well, he was in my race, and going into that race, knowing that there was no possible way that I could outrun him, I finished 18 out of 19 with one of my worst times in my athletic career. For the next week, I trained the hardest that I could. I would run so much that the white soles of my shoes would be permanently stained red from the red track. But meet after meet, race after race, the Cuban Bullet would annihilate my team and I. The end of the season was near, so I knew I had to redeem myself. I started registering for marathons to get more practice in 5Ks, 10Ks. I was obsessed. During one of these marathons, I was losing hope. I thought that I had no talent at all, and for all these years, I was just fooling myself. At the end of the race, they were presenting awards to first, second, and third place. Well, I see that a young man about my height won first place. Desperate, wanting a tad bit of guidance or advice, I approached the man. I told him my situation, and this is how the conversation went. I asked, how can I be a better runner? He stopped for a minute, pondered a little bit, and with the excitement in his eyes, he asked, what is your biggest fear? Confused, I said, I don't know, heights, I guess. I mean, what kind of question is that? He said, well, get over that fear first. I said, what? How, why? What are you talking about? He said, I don't know, be creative. Jump from an airplane if you must. You will know why when you experience what you need to experience. I thought, this guy's not taking me serious. I want advice on my cardio, what diet to choose, what kind of shoes to wear. I'm not looking advice on how to transform into a bird. I'm not trying to be a professional skydiver. I want to be a runner. He looked at me like I was the crazy one, and he said, you already have the talent. You just need to learn how to conquer fear first, and then try again. I never saw this man again, but his words stuck to me. So, desperate, I took his literal advice, and that following day I printed a waiver. I was under the age of 18, and to skydive, I had to have a written consent from my parents. When my mom read the waiver, her exact words were, pero muchacho, tú estás loco. Pero ¿qué te pasa a ti? Tú te quieres matar Ave María Purísima? And if you don't know Spanish, that translates to, you crazy. So, after begging and pleading, she said, pues está bien, zángano. Si tú te quieres matar, eso va a ser tu culpa, muchacho de Dios. And again, that means, okay. So next thing you know, I am at 14,000 feet above God's green earth. I was not just scared, I was petrified. The man who's going to jump with me yelled, 3! I closed my eyes, he yelled 2, and I prayed and repented to God of all the sins that I have ever committed. He yelled 1, and I clenched my hands into a powerful fist. This man yelled 0. I tried to bolt backwards, but it was too late. During that split second, when half of my body was on that plane and half of my other body was in the air, I felt this strange feeling of ecstasy and euphoria. It was probably one of the most glorious moments of my life. The further down I plummeted, at 120 miles per hour, I felt more fearless. I felt like Superman, unconquerable. And then, when that parachute opened, I realized that to conquer fear, one must throw oneself at it. Fear is truly in the mind. That next Thursday, I was ready. I felt anointed. This is how the race went. 1 mile run, 18 runners, first lap, I'm in 6th place. The Cuban Bullet is in first, second lap, exhaustion kicks in. I'm in 5th place now. Third lap, my legs are giving out. I passed the 4th and the 3rd runner. Last lap, I cannot believe it. I am so close to claim victory. 200 meters left. I am finally in 2nd place. 150 meters left. I am fighting for oxygen. oxygen, 100 meters, final stretch, I tear into the wind, ripping air itself, pushing and pushing. My heart is like a machine, pumping oxygen, feeding blood to my whole body. I find myself on the floor. I look up and see a timer that reads 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Barely being able to talk, I ask the closest person beside me, why is that timer not working? He responds by saying, son, that timer is working perfectly fine. Not only did I beat what was physically impossible to me to break a 5-minute mile, but I got nicknamed the Puerto Rican Bullet, my superhero name. Thank you. Be fearless, be limitless, and have audacity. I have a confession to make. I chose to be the Superman of my life. I want to be the Superman of my life. Now the question is, who will you choose? Your villain or your superhero? And I want to thank real quick 3 professors that, first one, Dr. Mercado, second one, Dr. Jones, and then third one, soon to be Dr. Stice. Thank you. Have a great day.
They're dressing you up. They're dressing you up again. Superman went too much.
I'm supposed to come up and thank him for that presentation. I got nothing. Giovanni, on behalf of Navarro College, we thank you for that rousing and inspiring and enthusiastic speech. And here's a token of our appreciation. Thank you.
I should thank him.
Okay, I don't know how anybody follows that.